Good morning, dear listener. Welcome to 88.3 FM. This is Waumini Soul Food, and I'm Victor Salamba. This very, very wonderful 14th day of August, the overall 2020, dear listener. As always, thanking God for all of you, thanking God for how far we've come, and believing that God can do great things for all of us, as we begin our morning reflection this wonderful day. And today I'm talking about dangerous feelings in relationships. Dangerous feelings in relationships. So why am I talking about dangerous feelings in relationships, my dear friends? It's because when you're in a relationship with someone, be it's a parent-child relationship, be it between siblings, between co-workers, there are some particular feelings when they creep up on you, you begin feeling some particular things in that relationship. These are dangerous feelings and they are red flags. And many times we ignore these feelings. And from my experience, I've seen people who have been seeing over the years, I'm coming to my office, you find that some relationships actually get destroyed because no one took time to pay attention to these particular dangerous feelings, But you find yourself, you're feeling in a particular way, and you've never really taken time to look at it because you're thinking that it's normal, yet it is normal. It can be between a mother and a daughter, a mother and a son, a father and a father and his children, a husband and a wife. It can be between colleagues, between siblings. It can happen to us in any single time. So what are these feelings I'm talking about? The first one. This one I like talking about it in every particular situation because most relationships that I meet have this particular feeling. When you feel underappreciated for the things that you do, and you believe that what you do in that relationship, most people would not. When you feel underappreciated in any relationship that you're in, and you believe that what you do, many a times people don't actually do this. Now, this can be a bit common. And many people actually go through this and they feel this every other time. You're in a relationship with someone, maybe you're in a relationship with your partner and you feel that you do so much, but it's not being appreciated. This is a dangerous feeling because this feeling leads to burnout. You come to a place where you burn out and you give up. And you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I think I'm tired of all this. And this is when people actually begin to withdraw. You find that a child withdrawing from the parent. You find a husband withdrawing from the wife because you feel you are working so hard, but no one is seeing it. And you feel what you're doing, many people would not do. I had a man in my office telling me that, Victor, the things I do in my house, he used this statement. He said, most African men would not. And that was really, really hurtful to him. Number two, when you feel as though the person you're in a relationship with does not take time to listen to your plight or they water them down. When you feel that the person you're in a relationship with does not take time to listen to your plights or to your complaints or to your issues, in fact, they always seem to water them down. This also, my dear friends, is a dangerous feeling. Because in this particular feeling, you'll feel rejected, you might feel alone, you might feel a part of resentment. It is because I am trying to tell you something and you keep on telling me it's not important. That's the translation. Which means that I might think that I am not important to you. Now, this is dangerous because at times people don't even know, that they are not actually, or they're watering down someone else's plight. I've had these cases endless times. I've had teenagers complaining about their parents. I've had husbands complaining about their wives, and vice versa. It happens every other time. When you're in a relationship with someone and you feel they don't listen to you, or if you complain about anything, they water it down, I had a man in my office with the wife, and the wife was crying, and the man told the wife in front of me, point blank, you are too emotional. Everything about you is being emotional and just crying. And at that point, I looked at the look on the wife's face, and I knew, hapa kana umana. This man might be single before the sun goes down. So it is important, dear listener, to understand if you're feeling that way, then there's an issue, and a big issue is coming up. Number three, when you feel as though your weaknesses overshadow your achievements. When you feel your weaknesses overshadow your achievements. When you feel as though there's nothing you do right. When you feel as though you're a walking disaster in a relationship. You're a calamity waiting to happen. You're in a relationship with someone, but every day you know that you're a mistake that is walking, talking, eating, and breathing. My dear friends, when you're in a relationship with someone and you always feel as though you're coming up short, that is a dangerous feeling, because in this feeling is where people walk away. The other two I've mentioned, people might fail to walk away. But this one, people will always walk away because you all want to be celebrated. No human being wants to be in a relationship with anyone that they don't celebrate them. Never. When I talk to young people, they'll say, the issue I have with my parents is they don't see what I try to do or my achievements. It's always my weaknesses. You talk to married couples, it's the same. A lady will say, if I cook pancakes, he'll say he didn't want pancakes, he wanted mandazis. When I make mandazis, he tell me I made them badly. When I do this, it's bad. You hear men complaining the same thing. When you feel as though your weaknesses overshadow your achievements, that, my dear friend, is a dangerous feeling in a relationship. The next point is this. When you feel that your partner does not take time to understand you, that the relationship may be better. Translation: when you feel your partner is not investing enough time to come out of their space to understand you and to know where you're coming from, to understand your thinking, your passions, your ideas. One of the, let me say, the silliest things I've ever found is that people get into relationships assuming that automatically you will know how to live with another person. Nani alikudanganya? The amount of work required to understand the other person, you must be deliberate. Now, the problem is that in relationships, there are people who are not deliberate. They expect that their partners will be like them, they'll think like them, they'll function like them, and this is how we think. And they don't actually take time to think, let me understand my wife. Let me understand my husband. Let me see how they function. Let me see how they do. At times I hear couples fighting and you ask them, wouldn't it be better if you took time to understand that on Tuesdays, your husband prefers this? Or take time to know your wife. After she has come from the bathroom, she wants to find her towel at a particular place. They're small things, but they're big things as well, you know? But my partner likes talking like this, or my partner likes behaving like this on a Saturday or on a Sunday. There are things that they normally do. I know them. When they talk like this, I know something is wrong. I had a telling me last week in my office, at Victor, when my husband calls me by my first name, najua hapo kameumana. When he calls me the first name, najua hapa sasa, this guy, pahali asire imefika, things are going south. But since I've taken time to understand him, in a very weird way, she has actually understood his language. My dear friends, that is very, very, very important. And the last one before I go on this break is that when you feel as though your partner or the person you're in a relationship with, be it a parent or a child, are self-absorbed and don't have the time to study, to understand, and patiently manage those around them. When you feel your partner or the person you're in a relationship with is self-absorbed, meaning they're so concerned about how they feel, how they are doing, where they are, that they become ignorant of what's happening around them. This is when, as a mother, your children say you are not there for them. In a marriage, somebody will say you're never there for them. Why? It's because you're self-absorbed. It is about you. It's about how you feel, how you think, how you process. You don't take time to look at around you and say, there are people next to me, and maybe they need me. Dear listener, when I come back with this wonderful break, we'll be able to continue with dangerous feelings in relationships. So, dear listener, I am Victor Salamba this wonderful morning, and I'm glad to be with you on air this wonderful day, dear listener, as we continue to talk about dangerous feelings in our relationships, And remember that the basis of what I'm talking about is that when you're in a relationship with someone, any kind of relationship, be it a parent, child, between a spouse, whatever relationship you're in, there's some particular sets of emotions, but when they creep in, that relationship is heading towards the cliff and at a very high speed. So as we continue, just remember that I'm mentioning these things, and I'd like to hear from you as well. Do you feel any of these things, and what is your feedback, and do you have any other question, dear listener? The next one is this. When you're in a relationship with someone, dear listener, and you feel as though the person you are with regrets being with you. When you feel the person you're with regrets being with you. Now, this is a bad feeling. It's a bad feeling from any angle you look at it. If you're a child, you feel that your parents regret having you as a child, that's a disaster in its own right because you can't return your parents. But it's also interesting when you're in a relationship with someone, you're married, and you wake up in the morning, look at your partner and thinking, I think they regret being with me. I think that they had a better choice outside there, and they would have actually wanted to go for the choice. That is a very bad feeling to have, dear listener. That feeling can lead you to depression, actually. It's a very bad feeling. The next feeling that is a dangerous feeling to have when you're in a relationship with someone is when you feel that the relationship is not maturing at the same speed. Now here, I'd like those who are one, those who are in marriage to listen to me. Two, those who are parents to listen to this statement. There's nothing as bad as being in a relationship with someone and you feel as though it's not maturing as it should, whereby one of you is growing, the other one is stuck. You find that conversations cannot flow as they should because you're arguing because you're not maturing. So it's the perspective that you have in life, and your partner doesn't have the same perspective because they have not matured. So if the relationship does not mature at the same speed, then there are many things you can't reason through together because of the lack of maturity. And this way you find that at times in a marriage, one person begins to do things by themselves. And no matter someone is doing, a wife begins her own things or a husband begins his own things, because when they sit to reason, because of the level of maturity, they just cannot have a discussion. They just cannot. I had a young couple in my office, and this young man was pushing, trying to buy land and telling the wife, let's buy land, let's buy land, let's buy land. The wife saying, Apana, I can't live there. That's a wilderness. That is too far. I don't know what. You see, they could not discuss about progress, because the discussion would have been a different one, which is, where are we? Can we manage there? Is there a better option? It is important. There's a mature conversation that would come about, but many couples suffer from mature conversations because one person did not grow. One person got stuck. Now, even as a parent, I must be aware that I need to also grow with my children. When my children mature, I mature with them, but also doesn't come to a place whereby I feel as though, or they feel as though, the relationship has not matured. That's a disaster. The next one is this. When you feel as though your partner or you have got too many mind games, when the relationship has got too many mind games, yani your relationship is chess. When you wake up in the morning, ni mahesabu, who is going to counter the other one? It is chess. And these to me are the most interesting cases I have in my office, let me tell you. When I see a couple sit before me and you see mind games from the very beginning. Now, this is very common, let me be honest, with highly educated couples. Those ones who have gone to school, now wamesoma. Hapo ndio kuna shida. Those are the ones who frustrate each other with such things, because they're always trying to outsmart the other one. So the marriage is a game of chess, and a long game of chess every day. When your relationship has got too many mind games, it's tedious. That is a bad feeling to have in any relationship. That's a bad feeling to have in any relationship. And on the last 2 points, when you feel that your partner or yourself, you're emotionally fatigued from life. When you feel that your partner or yourself is emotionally fatigued from life, or that they spent all they had on a previous relationship, and they have nothing left for you. Nothing left for you. Yani emotionally, psychologically, they have given their all. They are out. I've had cases in my office where a man is saying, I want to work on my marriage, and the wife says, I am just tired. I have reached the end. I gave everything. I have nothing more to give. We part ways. Na jamani ametokelezea. And the wife at that point is like, no, me, I'm done. Or I've also seen other cases as well, whereby also someone gave so much in another relationship. They broke their backs. They worked hard. They went where they did what? They did everything possible. They fought for peace, were reasonable, did everything in their power. When they get to you, they are tired. They have nothing left. Or the nature of work they do burns them out. Emotional fatigue, dear listener, is a dangerous feeling in any relationship. And lastly, dear listener, when you feel as though your partner or you, are fundamentalists, when you feel you married a feminist, or when you feel you married a male chauvinist. Now that is a bad feeling. That is what we call a spirit of fundamentalism in marriage, where both of you are in marriage, but as a wife, you are fighting for women's rights in your marriage, and your husband is fighting for men's rights in their marriage. That is a tragedy that has happened. Not even waiting to happen. That is a tragedy that has happened. That, my dear friends, is a very, 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 very dangerous feeling to have in a relationship. And lastly, when you feel that your intelligence or strengths are undermined in that relationship, when you feel as though the person you are with does not respect your intelligence, does not respect your input, does not respect your suggestions, anything you say, they put it down, it's like how kuzaliwa na akili. That is tedious. I've had wives complaining that my husband thinks I have no brain. I've had husbands telling their wives that you think I have no brain. I've had children telling me that their parents think that they don't think. There's nothing as bad as being in a relationship and you feel as though the person you're with thinks that you don't think. That is a disaster, dear listener. Stay tuned to 88.3 FM. This is Waumini Soul Food, and I'm Victor Salamba.